Hello, Randy Rain here, and I'm in America, and I'm in Texas. You see this gun? You can't make this gun anymore. It's against the law to make this gun. What is it? It's the EnterTech WH-88 Watergun. Yes, this is made by LJN Toys. It was sent in by one of my patrons, and I thanked them for that. I think it was his. I'm pretty sure that's what he said, that it was his, that he played with. Now, technically, this is illegal. Maybe, I guess. I don't know. Let me fix it up, then we'll deal with the law. Alright, so here's the inside. Here's another little piece of plastic floating around. So I found two pieces of plastic that I have no idea where they go. So you have a motor turning into reciprocating action that's just going to pretty standard little pump for a squirt gun. Let's see. That comes off. You can see the little bit of corrosion now. 2186. I guess that means, I don't know, the 21st week of 1986. Yeah, so the question is, does this still work? You know, how do you fix this? It's all glued together. I see it broken here. That piece went right there. It's back here. Is that it? Yep, it went right. Looks like it went right there. Alright, I got a cup of water here. Let's see what happens. There it goes. But it's also squirting out here. Right there. Yeah, well, that ain't good. It's squirting out here just as much as it squirts out here. But you know, I kind of remember these things doing that. Alright, I have an idea for the pump, but in the meantime, this needs to be fixed. I can get the motor off. So I know I need to replace that gear. Yeah, I think those are all fine. I'm gonna leave them and try to figure out what in the world is going on here. I mean, I have a 10-tooth gear that's split, but there's this rubber thing here. No idea what that is. Your typical 10-tooth split gear. I'll have a look inside this motor. Oh, that's pretty nasty. This is just 3-in-1 oil. I doubt you can see it, but this motor is turned so much there are holes in these brushes. Someone has squirted this gun quite a lot. Yep, and there's like grooves worn down on this computator. That's hilarious. Hopefully they'll still work. Might have to replace the motor for the first time. Alright, let's put 6 volts onto this thing and see what it does. And it still works. Every time. And I have no earthly idea what that's for, but I'll put it back. Alright, so about fixing this battery door connection. There's so many ways I can try. You know, I could like 3D print this piece here and then like cut it and get a nice flat surface to glue it to. Glue this little hub onto it. That's one option. That's a decent option. You know, I could try like CA glue and baking soda, and mix it with some, you know, black iron oxide and build this up, but I don't think it'll stick. That stuff's too brittle. Even if I reinforced it somehow, nah, I don't like that method. You know, I could just JB weld, you know, take some epoxy putty and like form this, and then JB weld big blob over the whole thing. You know, that would probably work. But there's one thing I want to try, and that's welding. This is probably ABS plastic, I'm guessing, and my printer filament is ABS plastic. And I'm wondering with my little heat pin, can I, you know, melt it and mold? I think I'm going to try that first, and if that doesn't work, I'll cut it off, 3D print something, and stick it on there. The only color of filament I have is this. It's supposed to be silver, but it's more like gray. But I can always paint it. I'm not worried about the color. I just want to see if it's going to work first. I mean, I need to drill it out now, but that worked. That actually worked really well. Okay, now the latch side is just falling apart on me. I'm going to try to see it glue this little piece back. I want to say that's good for now. Might have to reinforce it, but I need it on there so I can see the other part that's missing. You can see what I've got so far. I'm just missing this little chunk right here. Okay, I am really impressed with this. That looks so good. It'd be better if it was black, but you'd still get the scratchiness from the sanding. Let's see what we can do with just a little bit of water. It'd be better if it was black. Here's an easy fix for that. Okay, that's not bad for something that was falling apart and the plastic is starting to go and getting really brittle. I mean, come on. And then there's this piece that broke. So I think that's everything except for the pump. The pump works, it just leaks like a sieve. And I think it's always done that. That's not anything that's broken. It's just a cheap little pump. But the question is, can I make it better? So I printed out this piece, and I've got this little O-ring here. If I put that in there, I even printed down in there a little concave area that it will sit in. And then I can take grease okay, I'll put some grease around here. And then okay, now this goes into there. Nice. There we go. The spring is able to push it back out, so it's not binding too much. And that should seal it off some, at least. I don't know what else to do. But it will get locked in. So instead of trying to fix that, I'm just going to use a little brass washer. Holy crap. Yeah, okay, that started shooting like crazy. Once it primed the pump, I think it's shooting better now. And I don't see any water coming out. I put the battery terminal into some CLR, and within seconds it took that corrosion away. I mean, literally less than a minute and it was gone. But these wires, I don't like these wires. I think I'm just going to rewire the whole thing. So the wires had the little like corrosion crustiness to them, and it's just so hard to solder, so I just replaced all the wires. It really doesn't matter which way it goes. Alright, this trigger is already broken. Of course it is. This is a horrible design. It's just a post sticking up there with no bracing, and it doesn't have to be. I'm just going to do it again. Put a big old blob. It's going to be nowhere close to being how it's supposed to be on there. I'll set that. And now I'm going to put this piece right here. Now I'm going to just coat this. Buttload of CA glue. Okay, now that damn sure better hold. So back in 1985, there was a company called LJN Toys, and they decided to make water guns that look like real guns, and they several different kinds of these. And this is the WH, it stands for the Water Hawk. It comes with a clip that you fill the water in. This is like the first motorized water gun. I mean, I don't know if it's the very first one, but it was the first one that became popular and sold. Okay, so there it is. It's working. And just to the right of me, over this way, is where my 3D printer is. And there's a constructed box around it. A wooden box with a foam insulation to keep the heat in and stuff. And on top of it is the bed for the cat, Mortimer. Now don't feel sorry for this cat. He's spoiled rotten and he's a little toot. He can take this. But let's see what happens. It takes forever for this thing to prime. Okay, so I promised Mortimer I wouldn't squirt him anymore, so I'll go outside and squirt the stray cats. So this is the gun that started the whole thing with the orange plug having to be at the end to show that it's a toy. And all guns after November of 1988 have to have that on there. This one is 1985, 1986, so this one is okay to have it not on there. Alright, let me read you the law here. It says, it shall be unlawful for any person to manufacture, enter into commerce, meaning buy, sell, or trade, ship, transport, or receive any toy, look-alike, or imitation firearm unless such firearm contains or has affixed to it a marking approved by the Secretary of Commerce as provided by subsection B. And subsection B says, each toy look-alike or imitation firearm shall have as an integral part permanently affixed a blaze orange plug inserted into a barrel of such toy, look-alike or imitation firearm. Such plug shall be recessed no more than 6 millimeters from the muzzle end of the barrel of such firearm. Okay, so I'm an American, and if I want a water gun that doesn't have a blazing orange tip on the end of it, I can have a water gun without a blazing orange tip. You trying to tell me I can have a real gun that can transport it, sell, manufacture, do all this stuff, but I can't have a toy one without a blazing orange tip on the end? I don't think so. This is America. There is no way that any Republican that's on Congress right now would vote for any kind of law like that. And that law was signed in by Ronald Reagan, the great white Republican. All right. So you need to stand up for me, and we need to be able to stop this tyranny of orange blazing plastic tips on there. I thought capitalism was supposed to fix all this stuff. You know, I'm an adult. I should be able to have a gun without a blazing orange tip if I don't want a blazing orange tip. All right, in this country and these laws, you can't tell me. So please, stand up with me. Come on, harumph, harumph.
Harumph, 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 harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph.
All right, if you like this video, I sure would appreciate a big thumbs up. If you want to see more, of course, hit the subscribe button. I want to thank these people right here. These are patrons. These are people bringing you these stuff to do like this. And I thank them oh so very, very, very much. There is a link if you want to become a patron, of course. So go check that out. There's also the PayPal link and the thank you button and all that stuff if you so desire. If not, just keep watching. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. See you next time.
Harumph, 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 harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph.
Hey, Mortimer, what are you doing? Don't ignore me. Hey! Stop that. Leave it alone. I don't want you doing that. I don't want you doing that. What do you want? Quit!